Good morning, everyone. It's February 7th, and today we are going to take some hardwood cuttings from this fairly large Spirea double pink bush. The pruning will help the bush bloom out in profusion next year, and we will also be able to get hundreds and hundreds of cuttings from this plant to root up to sell at Plant Man by Clayton. So join me and I'll take you through the process. As you can see by the cut stubs that are left on the plant, I went about 3/4 of the way down on each branch and trimmed off just below a node. And from that, I've gotten about a half a dozen branches off of this plant that each will produce about 5 to 6 cuttings. So come on inside and I'll show you the process of trimming these cuttings down and getting them ready to be planted in our rooting bed. So what we have here is a thin pencil type branch from the Spirea plant. We are going to remove the side branches so that only the central trunk of this branch will be left. And as you can see, as I'm removing these side branches, you can see the nodes that will produce the new growth in the rooting bed. So once you've removed the side branches from this trunk, we will identify the nodes, which are very numerous on Spirea, and will make this job very easy as far as locating the nodes to trim. You need to leave your nodes on because not only will the plant root from nodes, from which I will cut just below this node for the base, but it will also send its new leaves out from the nodes remaining above the earth. So there we have one Spirea cutting. The nodes on the bottom will produce the roots. It has nice green membrane inside that will help promote root growth. And the top also has numerous nodes that will produce next year's growth. Okay, I've gone ahead and cut the remaining branches that I had, maybe 5 or 6 branches, into cuttings, and here are 54 cuttings that I was able to get from just those very few branches. Some of the side branches that I was originally trimming off were thick enough that I went ahead and cut them up into cuttings also. As long as they're nice and green on the inside, whether they're thick or thin, they are going to be viable, and probably 70 to 80% of these will root in the coming months. One thing that you want to be sure of when you stick your rooting or cuttings is that you insert them into the ground just as they were growing, with the thicker end of the cutting down and the thinner end facing up, which will produce the leaves. Spirea are fairly easy to determine which is top and which is bottom, because as you can see by that leaf node about 1 inch above my finger, the leaf nodes are pointing towards the sky. So that's an easy, surefire way to determine which end is up and which end is down on these. I'll be using a rooting hormone, which will slightly increase the percentage of rooting. What this does is it stimulates the hormones that are in the base of the cut to help promote a little better root growth initially. You can purchase this at any of your supply stores, or check below. I'll give you a link to where you can find this. Just hit the More button in the description, and there'll be a link directing you where you can purchase this. If you like this video, I certainly would appreciate it if you would hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing to our channel, it makes it possible for us to continue to make videos and keep you informed on all your gardening needs. Now we're ready to put these cuttings into the ground. I have taken a very large putty knife and cut a deep groove into my sand, which is contractor sand, which is a perfect rooting medium for cuttings. That will allow the cuttings to be down in the soil approximately 2 inches. So I'll take my first cutting, make sure that I've got the bottom facing down. I'll tap it into my rooting hormone, which I put into a little cup to keep it separate from the entire jar of rooting hormone to avoid cross-contamination by other species of plants. And then I will take the cutting and insert it into the sand like so. I'll do another. Make sure I have the bottom facing down. Dip it into the rooting hormone. Be about 1.5 inches to 2 inches away from the first cutting. Insert it into the ground. I'll do this entire row that way. I've already done 2 rows. You can see they're done. After inserting all the cuttings into this entire row, I will go back and just slightly put them to bed, push the sand in around the cutting, and then I'll water these cuttings in, and within a couple of months during the summer, they're going to put on initial growth, and they'll be ready to go to the market in a few months. Easy peasy. You can do this yourself if you would like to multiply the plants that you have instead of paying exorbitant nursery prices for full-grown plants. This is an easy do-it-yourself project. Thanks and have a great day.